morning, everyone. Who is out there? Thank you for joining me. There we go. Sorry, a little bit of a connection issue there. Good morning. My name is Angela Henson. I'm with Angela's Attic, and we are going to be doing our first live today for Hokus Pokus decor transfers and furniture appliques. Hokus Pokus is from, they are in South Africa, Cape Town, South Africa. They started in 2018. They are a fantastic company. They brought out their first transfers in 2020 and they are just rocking the market. Love with them because of their designs. They're not typical. Their products are superior. And I'm very excited to be joining the team of one of their content creators. So moving along, we will be doing different videos. I'm going to be showing you different products and different techniques, demonstrating how to do that from start to finish. We'll do some painting and have some fun with it. And if you have any questions, you're just going to let me know. Good morning. So how is everybody this morning? It is, let's see, I'm in Prince George. We were sitting at about minus 25 today. That's a significant warm up from the minus 40 a few days ago. So, and we have about 3 feet of snow in our yard. So I'm happy to be inside doing my furniture and hanging out with you guys today. So I'm going to show you a few of the different Hokus Pokus decor appliques and transfers that they have. So they've got transfers. Transfers are, it's an adhesive that gets stuck to the packaged from Hokus Pokus, wrapped up nicely in a tube, and every tube comes with the transfer, a set of instructions, the stick tool, which is to burnish it on, and the white glove for after. I like this. This is total class coming from Hokus Pokus. No other company that I've found does this, but when you're working with paints and all kinds of stuff, the sweat and that gets the dirt, everything on your hands, they can finished burnishing it on with sticking it on with the stick, with the tool. Then you're going to burnish it and rub it on, but you're going to use the white glove, and that way you're not getting any dirt marks that are stuck in, and you can work with it a little easier, and it's much easier on the hands because it can get a little sticky after a while. Some of the transfers are really big and take a lot of time to put on. I'm going to be working with a smaller one today. This one is called By the Lake. 2 gorgeous swans. Now, they are considered part of the large transfers, but they are a little bit smaller than a full-size, generally 24 by 30 transfer. This one is coming in 2 pieces. I've already started prepping it, but we are going to work with the black swan today. Show you this like so, and that's going to, it's gorgeous. The color is stunning. I'm really excited to do this. I've got a second chair that my husband Tim has been doing a lot of repairs. And he has built it like brand new, so I'll be able to do that one pretty soon, paint it up. And the other part of this transfer, the other swan, disaster on the set. Other one, it's neat. So that'll give you the general idea of what these chairs are going to look like. I have painted them in Fusion Mineral Paint. 3 coats of everything, 4 or 5 actually, on the seat. So we are the prep work on the chair before we get started. when you're doing, if any of you have ever attempted to paint furniture or do anything to that, the most critical part of it is the prep work. If your prep work is not done completely and fully, whatever you end up may not uphold regular use. I paint furniture that is, makes a statement, but it's useful. So I want it to last. I want my clients to be happy with it, and I don't want them coming back to me saying the paint's peeling. So my prep work probably takes the longest. It's the worst. Certainly not the most fun, but it is the most necessary. So once we have completely cleaned, I'll be posting a video on the prep work I did on this chair from start to finish. You'll be able to see that. But it was really cleaned well. I used, in Canada we use methyl hydrate. In the States it's called denatured alcohol. So what it does is it breaks down the waxes and the finishes to scuff sand. If you're doing a lighter color, you're going to want to prime first. But we did black on this chair, so I didn't have to prime. It took 3 coats very nicely. What I'm going to do, I'm going to just turn the camera down. Oops, shoot. Sorry. Bear with me here. Oh, geez. I'm going to try not to drop everything here. Okay. There we go. We are looking at the chair. I may not be able to see your questions. If you have any questions as we're going along here, but what I will do is go back to them after. I apologize. I'm working with an iPhone, so if I can see your question, I can get to it, I will. All right. Okay, the first thing I want to do. So after I have fully got this chair ready, I did paint, there's 5 coats of fusion casement on here. It took very well. If you were to look at this, you would never know this is a vinyl seat that's been painted. It does not look like it. This is the first, I'll be honest, this is the first time I've ever painted vinyl, and I'm impressed. I'm assuming from everything I've read, and it's pliable. Like, there's no cracking, no nothing, and I painted this 3 days ago. So I'm excited to see how the transfer goes, because to be honest, again, I've never put a transfer on something that's got movement. When you're working on furniture, you've got a very hard surface to work up against, and I don't know if it's going to be easier or harder, so we're going to find out together. I was kind of hoping I'd have both chairs done. I could have practiced on one before I went live showing you. So I take a clean cloth. When you are working with transfers, it is critical that your area that you're applying it to is clean, dust, and hair free. Anything that is left on the surface may interfere with the adhesion. It may bubble and it may not stick. So I've had these covered. I know they're clean, but there's a fresh wipe. Now, I'm working on a piece that I know is not going to take the whole transfer. The transfer is bigger than the chair. Get it and get it. So these are somewhat delicate to work with. You do not want them to stick to each other. So pre-planning is always a good thing. I have gone ahead and laid this out already as to where I want it to be sitting, where I want the center. The head is not going to be the center. The body, the swan is not perfectly, it's centered, but it's the body that's centered, it's not the body. What I've done in preparation, because I know I'm going to have to cut some of this out here to fit in between and kind of wrap around. I want to use as much of the transfer as possible. The flower especially is going to tie in nicely to the red legs. So, if you run into a situation like this, you're going to want parchment paper, scissors, a measuring tape, and a pencil. And we're going to make a template. Already done that. So, it's a little rough, but I've kind of given the general idea of kind of where the center of the seat is, and I don't want to go any further than that, and I've wrapped it. It's not going fully over, but I know when I lay this on top of the picture to cut out where I need, I'm going to get the general idea. And if I need to trim off more, I will. So we are going to start with the top. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to, let's see if I can move here. Okay. So, one thing you're going to notice there's an edge missing here. When you are working with transfers that join together, some of them come separately and like little pieces. There's foils and that that you can get. You can cut them out individually and set them right. Transfers all have a halo, and what that is a really clear, I don't know if you can, I'm going to try and show you here. Can you see there that clear around the edges there? That's a halo. That sometimes can show up. Now when you're joining transfers, you want to get rid of the halo. Reason being is printers that make these typically have a dark line that ends. And this one's not too bad because the transfer is quite dark and it's black, but if you get lighter transfers, multicolors, that kind of thing, overlapping those halos is going to give you a dark line. And depending on the transfer, it really doesn't look that nice. So what you can do then is it's happened, it does, they're difficult. You can touch them up after. I have after with little bits of paint just to try to blend that line so that you don't get it. When you cut it off, you want to cut off, now I have cut just this edge here, and I'm going to cut this one next before I put the top piece on. But the slightest, can you see? It's just the slightest little bit that's left on there that I've cut off. Okay. So I'm going to cut this one off next. You can use a knife. I prefer a scissor. I feel like I've got more control right now with that. Just make sure it's straight because those lines are going to join. And if you get wobbly lines, it's going to show up. Ever so slightly of the halo cut off with a little bit of the picture. Now, I'm going to set these together to how they're going to join. And I may have to do some touching up later, but that's okay. And now I use parchment paper so that I can see through where my design is. Okay. So slightly off center in the front and the back. And I can blend so I don't get, it's gonna have a line across the back. I'm gonna blend that after with some white paint. Okay, so now this is gonna give me, I wanna make sure it's straight where I want it. I'm happy with that, I think. Okay. I'm gonna make this real easy on me. Okay, so there is a clear plastic on top here, okay, that is attached to the transfer. That's what's going to peel off. I can draw on this. It is not going to show up after. Okay, so I'm going to cut that off, cut that off. I'm not going to cut that yet until I know exactly. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm going to cut out these corners on our. Okay, so now we are going to move you again. Hang on. Okay. There. Okay. Now, I'm going to dry fit it, make sure this is exactly where. So, in here, I will probably do some blending, okay? Just 2, but that's going to go okay there. And it's not, make sure. Straight. Okay. Okay, I think we're good with that. All right. I need my glove, my tool, and make this more. I'm gonna blend after. Sorry, thinking. Okay. Cut a little bit right there. Just a little high. Okay. Now the nice thing about that, if I wanted to fill in that area, and I can, oops, that one, I can do that. Oh, don't stick your fingers to it. Okay. and I'm not going to do it, but if you folded these back on each other, you will never get them apart again. Just as a heads up. Okay. What I'm going to do is tape. Okay, now I do not, when I do my transfers, I do not stick the whole thing down all at once. I go little bits at a time to allow me better control. Because as soon as that back is gone, it will stick. Straight, and now I'm just going to roll this right back in here. Burnish this. We're going to start at the top because we're working with something that is not super stiff, and it's pliable underneath, yet you want to make sure that everything sticks, and it is. It's sticking beautifully. You can see as I don't know if you can see as I rub how it's getting white. That is showing that, can you see that? Oh, it's getting, oops, the light. It's getting white, which means it's sticking. So I will be doing some piecing around here after. Just to complete these, which is fine. This is it's a nice transfer to work with because it's a bit of a distressed look. So if you have a little oops, it's not too bad. The Hokus Pokus transfers, love. The colors and pigments are rich and vibrant. You want to always have a painted base. If you want, it depends on what you're doing for a base color that you would use underneath. So here, because I want a bright background behind the white and that, I did the white because that's going to show through. The darker ones, it's not going to show through. I could have done this black as well, and it would be far less it would be more muted looking, like really dark looking. So your base color will show through. So you want to make sure that you're doing something that's going to work with the transfer. So like I said, depending on the size of the transfer, some take less time than others. Okay, so I've got that on. Now I want to remove the tape because I'm going to remove the rest of it. I literally go on a curved surface here, so it's a little more delicate. Just going to lift this up, pull that out, and lay that right back down, and burnish the rest of it down. And go in circles, up and down. I'm doing a little bit of a slight angle. It's working nicely on the chair. This is exciting. I'm actually really excited to see what this looks like because I have never done a transfer on a chair. Now, lots of people have done transfers on chairs. I've seen them. What a lot of people haven't done is a transfer on a seat. If this was an everyday chair that was going to be used lots, I probably wouldn't recommend doing this, because to seal this, I'm going to have to use a wax. And a wax is not permanent. You do often because it wears down. So because this is going to be on a seat, I would probably, once I've sealed it with wax for durability and longevity and protection, I would probably put another layer of wax on this about every 6 months. Depends on the use. Now, these chairs, they're showpieces. I don't expect they're going to be highly used, but they might be. I don't know if there's been any questions. Thanks, Kirk. I'm careful along the edges because it can mark your paint if you scrape the wood tool. But it's going to be covered. I'm not too concerned. You'll notice that transfer for this because it's distressed already. So if I've got a few little marks, it really is not going to make a difference. And honestly, what I'll end up doing is, there is some cracks there now I'm seeing, but touch those up. I will touch those up with like a little bit of paint just to blend them. They will not be perfect. And that's okay. You know what? You're dealing with creativity. Nothing is perfect. Mistakes happen. Minds get changed in the middle of doing things. Strategies change because plan A, B, and C may not have worked out. It's art. You just go with it. And honestly, at the end of the day, if I really, really, really didn't like this, I would just sand it off and start again. It's only paint, it's only transfers. Everything can but. So far what I'm seeing, I'm thinking I'm liking it. Because I'm working on something that's squishy, I'm not removing anything. I'm not removing the plastic until I know darn well everything I have done. This stuff down. Oh my goodness. Sorry, my nose was running. Didn't think you want me to sit here sniffing the whole time. I thought I better. Okay, almost one little corner here. Okay. See, I missed some there. I don't know if you can see that. It's on the plastic. I'm just going to lay it right back down where it was and get it on there. right. Wow. Okay. I'm liking this. I'm liking this. And you can see I did get some cracking in here. But honestly, I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference. I'll do some touch up after and some blending. What I don't like, and not everybody worries about it, but in this you want to really rub those edges to burnish those halos. And give it a good rub. Okay. But I'll probably touch up some of those with a little bit of paint because I know I'm going to have something along here because I'm just not that confident this is going to. Oh, I think I might be. So this is a little trick here. And I will be touching up because, okay, now I want to see, do I need to cut off anywhere? That's going to be tricky. That's going to be really tricky to do there. Okay. I have an idea what I'd like to do with it. I don't know if I can. I think I'm going to so there is a corner there I'm going to have to deal with. You know, you don't want to be folding it over, so something has to be cut out. Okay, so what I'm going to do, because I'm not 100% sure what I want to do with that corner yet, I'm absolutely not taking that backing off on that corner yet. Sure, it does not move. I just want this bottom corner taped. How are we doing for time here? Not bad. Okay. So. Where that piece went, but again, I just noticed there's a little piece missing there. Might have to be a touch-up or it might just work. Who knows? We'll find out. Okay. I am only taking off the top part because I need to line this up. Because as soon as you stick it down, it's going to stick. Looking for something. Oh. Just really careful. Usually I was looking for my clear piece. I don't know where it went. I usually try to put it over just so I don't accidentally gouge. But we're gonna go and So anywhere that this joint looked later that it was 2 pieces, I'll touch up with some paint and blend it in. You'll never know. Where these straight lines are here, I might do some blending after with the white, just so they're not such a sharp line, right? That it looks like it's all material. And I'm just going to keep working down. Now, where I don't, before I get too far, this looks very awkward, I'm not gonna lie, it is. Seriously. There. Alright, see, I don't want that corner. Okay. Now, you're good. Okay, now we'll finish burnishing. And you can see as you go that it's lifting away from the plastic. Nice and easy. I've never had a problem. I've heard of people having problems that the transfer doesn't come away from the plastic and it gets stuck. No one's found a problem with Hokus Pokus. I have had that problem at times with other brands. But so far not with Hokus Pokus. I find their transfer material to be a little thicker, which is nice. They're not, they're a little more, I don't want to get too close there because I'm going to do some cutting. Products that I forgot to tell you at the beginning there, I started talking and then I kind of lost my train of thought. You'll find that with me. That might be an age thing. But there's other products that Hokus Pokus carries. So they've got the little gold foil ones. So they're like the gold foil, but they're transfer and they're little and they're just sweet little additions. I mean, I could easily add a couple of gold roses to this or something like that if I wanted. Decor weaves. These are phenomenal. They're material. Let's take a push. This one is called Jade. It's absolutely stunning. I'm excited to get into those. So these are some of the products that are going to be really fun to work with. Like I said, they've got fabulous pigmentation, colors. This is one of my favorites, the Downtown. This is a great one. Love it. Looking forward to it. In February, Hokus Pokus is launching some transfers. So instead of a larger piece like this, you've got several little ones. So we've got some, they do call them magic mushrooms. There you go, we got some magic mushrooms. And this one, Most Illusions, absolutely gorgeous. Love it. This is one, what I noticed with this transfer that I really liked is so many of the transfers, French scroll. This is actually German, and I like that. That works with my German heritage. So, okay, I just need a little break. So what I'm finding, like I said, I've never put a transfer on a material that is pliable. And what I'm finding with this, and although it is fixable, and because the transfer's already got a distressed look, I'm not overly worried about it, but I'm finding that it is cracking a little bit. It's not a completely flat surface. I'm dealing with spongy, I'm dealing with rounded, but you know what? Embrace it. Sometimes you have to embrace those things that you just can't do anything about. And maybe with practice and over time, doing this a little more on chairs, I don't know. Maybe I'll get better. Or maybe this is what everybody does, I don't know. So, available for sale once they're done. No idea on pricing, don't ask me yet. As much as I would love to keep them, because I think they're going to be absolutely freaking amazing. They just, I've got dark woods and antiques throughout. These are just, the black, red, and white is just not going to work with my decor. Unless I changed everything, which I could. Although my husband might have a problem with that. So, I'm getting, let me try and lift this. Because we're getting quite into curves here and it's going to get worse. So you need to start removing the backing a little bit as you go. Or kind of cut a little bit of just relief from the plastic. The plastic is fairly thick, so as soon as it lifts away, if it moves. Okay, on the floor. Are we still good? We're still good. I'll take off right now. Because if that sticks on the black paint where I don't want it, it ain't coming off. I would have to sand it off and retouch up that, because once these are down, they're down. How are we doing out there? Thanks, Cindy. Hey, Chevy, how's it going? Hey, Uncle Don. Family's all checking in on me, making sure I'm doing the right thing. Like I said, these do take a little bit of time to apply. So when I'm doing commission pieces, the larger the transfer, the more time consuming and challenging they can be. And that tends to dictate costs, right? Okay, that's why I've got the sheet down here so that I can put this. Is that a good spot? That's a good spot. Okay. Now if it hasn't stuck. Now I'm working in very small sections at a time here because I'm working with the flower that I would like to, if I can, keep coming down here as much as possible, because I do not want to cut it off. Keep in mind, I've still got paper under there that I have to, okay, so now, okay, so when you are working around, we've gone from basic, from a basic application here to more advanced, because here's what I'm going to do. So I have now decided that wherever this flower falls is where it's going to go. And yeah. Okay, so remember, where this flower falls is where it's going to go. So I'm working around there. Okay, I'm going to embrace it. My OCD is trying hard not to kick in here. There we go. Careful. Okay. Oh, it's got static. Okay, I'm gonna take this. That looks bad, but don't panic. The rest of it's all right here. Down. That cut right there. I apologize if you can't see, I don't know, but it's getting a little tricky here. This is not where I had it planned, but that's okay. I want where I want that to be most important. Get in there with your nails. I will be doing lots of touch-ups. I certainly put myself in for a challenge today. It's okay. You'd be amazed how forgiving these things can be, actually. I'm going to overlap because at this point it's not a big deal. I've got there is a carved detail here that I'm trying to go over, and it's not. So this will all be by mixing up some paint and some touch-ups. You'll never know. Some colors. Too much. Okay, so I'm going to, that did not turn out as nice as I wanted it. Like I said, it's all paint. So what I'm going to do is later I will touch it up and I will show you how you'll never even see it when it's done. The other thing I'm going to do is, okay, where are we at? Okay, we are getting there. Hello, South Africa. You guys are opposite side of the world. What time is it there, Mandy? All right. Okay, so this was my first attempt. Like I said, I wanted to have both chairs done so that I could do a practice run. Need more work and more help. So as you can see, my corners, not exactly perfect. But you know what I might do is just do a little bit more distressing. Because there is so many cracks. I'll touch up a few spots, but I might just give it a quick little distress and allow it to be more antiqued. So I can see a little bit of my line here that I don't like, and I will be touching that up with paint and you won't notice it. I will let all of this, when you do your transfers, it's recommended that hours before you seal it. You want to seal them, okay, to protect them. So tomorrow I will seal it, but today I'm going to work on adding, see, this is all part of the transfer, how it's distressed like that. So me doing this really kind of fits right in anyways. It's not an overly big deal. What I don't like is some blending so that we are not seeing any lines. This is what I don't like. So I might actually take some paint and bring it up just so I haven't got a stark line there. Take some white and just dab it, soften those edges kind of the way it is like this so that there's no straight edges. And we'll bring it down. So that is applying a transfer to a chair. Now, was this difficult? This one was. I'm not gonna lie. But overall, I'm happy with how it's going to look. Like I said, it's not perfect. It's not gonna be perfect, but we're gonna touch it up and distress it a little more. And I will have these posted hopefully shortly. So that is our hour. I will thank you. You like that, do you, Linda? Yeah, I like that too. But I'm gonna have to fix it. It's not. I like that too. My vision, it was my vision, but I didn't do the best job. So I'm gonna fix it because I do like that flower down there too. That is it. I'm gonna get to your questions later, and hopefully this was a good tutorial. I was able to give you some good information. Don't worry, Joanne, I will post it. You can watch the replay. Thank you, Cindy. Thanks, Karen. Thanks, Maria. Maybe we can do something together one time. So we still need our coffee too. Okay, I'm going to let you go. Thank you for joining me. I will post this and watch. Hopefully within the next week, I will have both chairs done and have the final results posted. Pay attention to yourself, look after yourselves, and take care. Have a great weekend. Do something fun. It's cold out. Do something fun, either in or out. There we go. Bye guys. Take care.